commercial capital. This is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, W.H.O.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, Minister of Health justifies decision to postpone resumption date for all schools, insists it will help check spread of Ebola virus disease. Chief Tommy Kimi lashes out at APC, says party is immersed in leadership image crisis and also lacks internal democracy. Federal government approves construction of a transmission line that will improve power supply across the country. And the United Nations accuses Islamic State of committing mass atrocities against children in Syria.
On business news tonight, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry cautions over CBN's directive to banks not to lend money to existing debtors.
Sports news. Chris Grewa resumes office as the new president of the Nigeria Football Federation despite the crisis over his election being far from over.
We begin tonight with efforts by the federal government to bring the Ebola virus disease under control. The health minister says that this may not be the time for Nigerians to let down their guard, as more work needs to be done if the country is to remain safe. For them, one of the ways of managing it is for schools to remain closed till October until the picture becomes clearer.
All primary and secondary schools, both public and private throughout the Federation, are to remain closed until Monday, the 13th of October 2014, which is the new school resumption date for all schools throughout the Federation.
Before this announcement, schools were initially expected to reopen for the 2014-2015 academic session in the second week of September. But the need to successfully stop the spread of the virus prompted the postponement. Defending the decision, the Minister of Health, Professor W.H.O, said Nigeria would take no such risk.
Given the fact that they are children, if you have a problem, and given the way children men go together, it will cause us problem. And that is why the targets are attached to what we perceive to be when we should have dealt with all the contacts. But the fact that every day, some people who are even secondary contacts say, well, we'll be mingling together with them. We don't want to take any chance. So we say, okay, fine. We'll put that person under surveillance for whatever it is worth. So what is important is that what we guide when schools will open will be when we issue advice to the government, as to the rest of the government, when the Federal Minister of Health issues advice through the Office of Mr. President to tell Nigerians that, well, we think we have dealt with all the contacts.
It is not yet uhuru, according to the health minister. In spite of the successful containment, which simply means there is now an area of concentration, there's still one more case to tackle. He emphasized, however, that the virus is not the nation's greatest threat.
Billion naira.
The Minister of Health is seeking for a legal framework for all the 21 federal medical centers across the country.
The Federal Executive Council approved the draft bill to be sent as an executive bill to the National Assembly, subject to some of the areas that Council decided the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice working with the Honorable Minister of Finance and Honorable Minister of Health to properly align with extant policies and laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
More donations are pouring in on the Safe School initiative and the safety of schools threatened by insurgency in northeastern part of Nigeria. Recent donations were said to have been announced to the council by the Minister of Finance.
The Norwegian government has already donated 10 million Norwegian kroners. The British government has also made a donation of £1 million to the Safe School Initiative. This is coming from the British government to support the President's initiative on the Safe School Initiative, which the President had launched to provide safety for school children in the Northeast.
The Federal Executive Council appeals to well-meaning Nigerians in and outside the country to continue to make donations to the Safe School Initiative, at least to indicate that Nigeria is not alone in the fight against terrorism. Chukwuma Onwekusi, Channels Television News.
In the meantime, the presidency and the leadership of the People's Democratic Party may have begun to strategize on how to sell the achievements of the President Goodluck Jonathan administration to Nigerians. This is the outcome of the special meeting between the president and his cabinet members, the National Working Committee members of the PDP, and the leadership of the National Assembly. Briefing State House correspondents after the meeting that lasted for over 4 hours, the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Olusametu, said it's become necessary to gain the confidence of Nigerians on the government's transformation agenda.
The meeting discussed a lot of issues, the most important thing being the interface between the executive, legislature, and the party with a view to promoting and publicizing the ideals, the achievements of the transformation agenda of the government, and to ensure that we continue to gain the confidence of Nigerians. Being the only party that promotes the unity and progress of Nigeria and that covers all national interests, we want to ensure that our people will continue to have faith in the party. The meeting set up a small committee to continue to dialogue and promote this ideal.
In part 2, after the break, more on the containment of the Ebola virus disease. That's in a moment. Do join us again.